Well, I figure since I didn't see a Rockin' Robbie live tonight, and I haven't gone live in forever, I thought maybe I would go live tonight and say hello and see how everyone was doing and kind of tell you guys how I've been doing. I got my good friend John Stout, the first one in here. What's up, my friend? Hopefully you're doing well. Did you go to wasn't there a Comic Con in Portland? The Fan Expo? Captain Comics, what's up, man? How you doing? Hope you're doing well. I think you're out of Sturgis, right? I was just talking about Sturgis the other day to someone that was there. Get the Key Comics, what's up? Jeff, hello. How have I been? I've been pretty good. Kind of get into that in a little bit. David, what's up, David? How you doing? Circumstances, how you doing? Brandon, hello. Card Imperial and Comics, what's going on? Appreciate that. Fan Expo, no, okay. Hey, Two Gun Pedro, what's up, buddy? Anyway, I just wanted to jump on here, just kind of sitting at a Christina, hello. I am actually at a rest stop outside of Phoenix, Arizona, probably about 25 miles from downtown Phoenix. And this is where I am camping for the night. I've been on the road. I left Oregon right around the middle of December and went over a couple days in February. So I've been on the road on this trip for, I don't know, 30, 40, 50 days just about. So, yeah, been pretty much down here enjoying the nicer desert weather in Arizona, pretty much majority of the time. I was just in Tucson, Arizona over the weekend. Renegade, how you doing? Totem, hello. I was just in Tucson. They had that rock and mineral show down there that was my son wanted to go to, so he was there. And so I just drove down from Quartzsite, the place I was at, to go and see him for a couple days. And that was nice because I didn't get to say goodbye to him when I left Oregon. He was out of town, and so I didn't get to say goodbye. Jeff said, we're bagging some books I got from a small show in Winnipeg today. Fundraiser for the graded class. Nice. Very cool. So Tucson was kind of fun. Never been there before. Hit a couple comic shops in Tucson. And so I like that. There's a bug on there. And I actually bought a comic book. I bought my first comic book of the year. I bought Deadly Tales of the Gunslinger #1, the Tom McFarlane cover, $3.99 cover price, 37 pages of goodness right there. So this is probably the first comic. Yes, it's the first comic book I bought this year, and it might be the last comic book I buy this year. I don't know. But I did feel the urge to buy something from the shop. I went to two different shops. One of them I was not really impressed with. The second one, Future something. Let me look it up. I took a picture. I was on my Instagram. What's that place called? Fantasy Comics. Fantasy Comics was cool. Our Galaxy, it wasn't that great, but Fantasy Comics, that's the mural they have outside. I thought that was a really cool shop, and a lot of books. I don't really look for anything. I just wanted to buy something from there. Just just to buy something. I guess I was really like looking for something cheap, and I figured $3.99. And then you got to pay for that tax. I hate paying tax. Us Oregonians aren't used to that sales tax. American, hello, how are you? Good to see you and hope you are doing well. Thank you, Jeffrey. I'm doing pretty good. This trip did not turn out how it was originally planned. So it's been kind of on the fly as far as this adventure I was going. At the time when I left, I was dating someone, and her name was Liberty, and really great person. And when we left, our we were going to meet up in Quartzsite, and things happened, and she never made it out. We broke up like on New Year's or something like that. So, which is unfortunate. I really liked her, and but the whole plan I kind of had this winter, kind of spending winter with her and stuff like that, did not pan out. So I have other friends and met other people that I spent a majority of like January with and stuff like that. And so that was good. My friend Catherine was down in Quartzsite, so I hung out with her quite a bit. That was nice. And I met some new people as well, Misty and Paisley and Amanda and Tyler and a handful of others. So anyway, so I wasn't like alone, but it wasn't what I originally planned on doing. So I kind of adapted and stuff like that. But Quartzsite's kind of a cool place. I got to go to an event called Schooliapalooza. This is my second year that I've been there. It's kind of like a big rave out in the desert. Jenny was really cool. She's a YouTuber and stuff. And you guys should check out her channel. But she was really nice. We spent a couple nights together. Let's see. I think I got a picture of her. Let me see here. But she's really cool. And we had a nice time. And unfortunately, something happened. So that was her and I kind of just hanging out and stuff. So that was really cool. Jenny, I hope you're doing well. She's probably not watching this, but anyway, yeah. Anyway, that's a picture of her. She's really cool, very cool. But she has a YouTube channel. What was it called? Travels with Jenny or something like that. Let's see. What is it? I should know it. I feel like an idiot. She's probably watching this, get mad at me. Jenny in a van. Is that it? Jenny in a van? No. YouTube is okay. Her YouTube channel for Jenny is Travel with Jenny. That's right. Travel with Jenny. There you go. Anyway, she's really cool. She did a video. I think you can kind of see my bus a couple times and stuff, just kind of passing by. But she had some hardships and stuff, so she's taking care of some stuff. But she's a really, really good person. But she's got a lot of travel videos. It's pretty cool. So at that event, at that Schooliapalooza, that's a lot of fun. Like I said, it's kind of a rave out in the desert for like 2 weeks. And there's a lot of drama going on here. We think the comic book community has a drama. There's a bunch of drama in the stupid van and bus life community. That's just ridiculous. I mean, cops were called. Things were vandalized. It was just like, actual physical, damage going on, and stuff like that. So it's, anyway, it was interesting to half the time it was a lot of fun. The other half the time I was like, what the hell's going on? So there's there's like a lot of drugs, obviously, stuff like that. A lot of people just sucking on helium and stuff, or nitrous and stuff like that, and mushrooms and 420 friendly, of course, and stuff. But it was an interesting time. A lot of loud music playing all night long and stuff, nonstop. I mean, you're out in the middle of the desert. I mean, there's like 1,000 people out there and stuff, or 1,000 buses, and just kind of having at it. Comic Bookworm, what's up, man? Appreciate you joining. The Ham Fam, what's going on? That's what's great about being single free. You can be adaptable. Good times. Well, being single free, yeah, there is some good things about it, but sometimes it's nice to have someone laying next to you in bed. So, among other things. Gotta head to Arizona. What part of Arizona are you going to, man? Because I'm in Arizona right now. I'm going to Phoenix. I'll be in Phoenix tomorrow. I'm just about 20 miles outside of Phoenix, and I'll be in Phoenix tomorrow, and I leave Tuesday morning to head to Orlando, and I'll get to that in just a second there. So give me a call. Let me know what you're doing. DC Patrol, what's up? I understand, my friends. You'll see you again. You're a cool person and respect the people here on the channel. Thank you. You know what? I don't know if our story is totally over with me and her. We haven't talked for almost a month now and stuff. But anyway, you never know. So, Flagstaff, okay. last I went to Flagstaff on the way down here and stuff, man. There was no snow in Flagstaff. This is the first time I've ever been to Flagstaff with absolutely no snow. Fish, how you doing? Andy, hello. How are you? I've been to Greg's before. I have been to every comic shop in Phoenix. Phoenix is a place I've marked off my list, and I've been to most of the comic shops in Arizona. So, because I come down here all the time, so it's not a problem. I believe so, man. I've been looking at the temperatures. It looks pretty nice. That's in the 80s. So, looking like it's gonna be a lot of fun. What's up, Robert? How you doing, buddy? Appreciate you. Man, that'd be awesome, man. I'll be back in Oregon. I'm thinking of probably around the 1st of March is kind of the plan when I will be back in Oregon. And I don't know how long I will be there, but that is the plan for when I get back to Oregon. I'm just kind of scrolling through here. I think I've been to Ohio. I don't know how much time if I remember, I was in Ohio for maybe a couple days, and I didn't explore too much of it. But that, honestly, as of right now, I've been to every state except for Maine on my road trip. And actually, now that I think about it, February 2nd, which is today, is my 3-year anniversary of actually living in the bus and being on the road. February 2nd. I just now realized that. I knew it was February, but February 2nd today, it's been 3 years since I've been living in this bus and traveling around the country for the last 3 years. Kenneth, what's going on? And like I said, I've been to almost every state. I just missed Maine because something happened, and I had to head back to Oregon. And I had planned to go on the Maine. I actually had a place picked out to go stay for a little bit, and I just didn't make it. So it just is what it is. But anyway, so 3 years as of today, I've been homeless, living on the bus. I've stayed at many of rest stops along the way, including the one I'm here at tonight. I've stayed in many of Walmart parking lots. I've stayed in many of Cracker Barrel parking lots, Planet Fitness parking lots, and also many of campsites and just out in the middle of nowhere in the desert and on the side of the road, to be honest. 3 years of trying to find a place to sleep every night, it keeps it interesting, and I've been to all the states, including the state that Derek is in. And hello, how are you doing, my friend? Your parents' 45th anniversary. That's really cool. Very cool. But yeah, so it's been a great 3 years. For the most part, I can't look back and say I have any regrets of what I'm doing. I was asked just the other day how much longer I'm going to be doing this, and I really don't know the answer to that, to be honest. I really enjoy. Sometimes I get a little like, oh man, and then I hit the road again. It's like, okay, I missed it, and I'm like, where else can I go? What else places can I see and do and stuff, So, it's a nice balance. Art, hello. I love how real the comic book community can be as a true family. Most of them. Brother, hello. How are you? Yeah. So, I mean, I met so many people along the way, obviously, in person, been able to drive around and go and see like Derek and Two Gun and all that stuff. Ever had a scary situation, an overnight spot? No, not really. I don't really tend to get. I mean, I think others would have found things a little scary or whatnot, but for me, I don't really worry. I don't dwell on that stuff, to be honest. The only uncomfortable situation I've ever had, and I think I've told the story before, is I was camping kind of out in the middle of nowhere. Nobody's really around me for a few miles, at least that I can tell. And so I'm overnight, fell asleep on my bus, all that stuff, and I locked the door and everything. And I woke up the next morning, and when I opened my door, by my door, there's 3 cigarette butts sitting on the ground that weren't there the day before. So that means that either one person or whatever sat there and smoked 3 cigarettes and watched me, or there was a few people out there smoking cigarettes and stuff. That was a little eerie because, like I said, there's nothing like was around me at the time. I didn't hear any cars drive by or nothing like that. But just to know that wasn't there like the day before, and then you wake up the next morning and all of a sudden there's 3 cigarette butts sitting outside your front door of your bus. It's like, okay, what the hell? How close was I to luckily the door's locked. You never know. But, maybe it was the wind. Maybe the wind blew them all the way across the desert and they stopped right by the door and they were all the same brand. I don't know. So anyway, old man Milo, what's up? It says, hello, Bueller, at home, working from home. You popped up. You're looking good. Still employed, surviving layoffs. Take it easy. Thank you very much. I'm still, I just weighed myself like a couple days ago, and that's the first time I weighed myself since I left Oregon. So it's been, like I said, like the middle of December. I'm now in like the 230s range as far as my weight and stuff, and I think I lost almost another 10 pounds since I've been on the road this time around over the last month and a half or whatever. Billy Power Max, what's up, man? How you doing? But yeah, when I'm on the road, it's really easy for me to lose weight. It's I don't have a freezer. I have a little refrigerator, so all my food is fresh, and and I make all my food. I have a strict breakfast I make every morning, and so kind of I'm more active when I'm out traveling and stuff. I'm always kind of moving around and everything. Andy says, nice to finally interact. I've got the new issues of Thundercats and Silverhawks to read. Best of luck to you and keep it. Thank you very much. That Silverhawks one, didn't that just come out? I think. I haven't really talked to Dynamite that much. Unfortunately, with the situation with Diamond, they had to lay some people off at I don't want to speculate. I don't know the full details. And then I got an email or a message from one of my friends there saying that, hey, they have to take a step back from like doing the auctions that we were doing every Thursday, which is fine. It's not, it was no big deal. But they are friends of mine, so I do worry about them and stuff, but I really haven't done anything with Diamond, for a few months now because I kind of took some time off, when I was taking care of some stuff in Oregon. And, so as far as like my financial stuff with them, I haven't received any monies from them since October. So it's been kind of, let's just say I've had to be really tight with some of my finances and stuff like that because that was a big. I need to get in contact with them and get things going again and stuff like that. Maybe this month since we're on to a new month and stuff to get things going. I actually have interviews already made that I've interviewed with not celebrities, but with creators of theirs, and I just haven't edited the videos and put them out yet, so I got to do that. But yeah, it's been a little tight because of that, and it's kind of all these smaller independent publishers are kind of all sitting on that same bubble right now because they're not getting any money from Diamond, and Diamond just fucking screwed them all over and stuff, with everything. And because that's how it works. It's like, your revenue or your capital is based on credit and all that stuff and how much you're owed, and you can take loans on what you're owed and all that stuff. And then when you find out all the money that you're owed, you're not going to get, because they filed Chapter 11, and now that throws everything in a tailspin and stuff. And nobody's going to come save Diamond. Diamond's done. Diamond is done. There's no white knight going to come out and, well, yeah, maybe someone might buy them, but they're gone and stuff. But yeah, so everyone is jumping ship. Everyone who was left in Diamond, there's no reason for them to stay with Diamond. It's like, yeah, we'll just go somewhere else. It'd be different if there wasn't others that to use as a distributor, so they would have to. But since there are other options, nobody's going to stick around. See ya. Nice knowing you. So anyway, I dated a stripper named Diamond. Hey. I think everyone's dated a stripper named Diamond. Maybe it's the same Diamond. But anyway, that's also like I know like a lot of books are getting delayed and pushed back and stuff, because they're switching up different distributors and stuff like that. So be a little laxed on your what you're expecting to come out, especially from the smaller publishers. And maybe some covers don't actually see market that are advertised, and then they don't get them and stuff. So I mean, it's an interesting time. I was watching a video about a guy. The guy did a video the other day about it, and he's a retailer. He's been in retail business for a long time. And I got about 2 minutes into the video. I was like, I really don't care. I really don't care. It's like, oh, whatever. I don't care anymore. Me and Bob talked about this years ago on the Coffee and Comics show when Marvel first dipped out. Was it Marvel or DC? I can't remember who the first one who dipped out from Diamond. And we're like, this is it. You can't sell Coke and Pepsi and then have one of those people leave and still be okay. It's just a matter of time before the bills come up and you can't pay those bills. You can't lose Coke and Pepsi and just count on RC. And if you guys get the references to which one is which, there you go. And that's just kind of the writing was on the walls. What's this? Diamond and David Lee Roth had his glory years with Van Halen, but eventually the band wanted Sammy. Yep. Dwayne, how you doing? Be interesting digging around in their warehouse. Gotta be some misplaced things. Yeah, probably, for sure. But anyway, so I am planning on going to. I fly out tomorrow. I get to Phoenix. Well, I'm just right outside of Phoenix. I'm just literally the closest rest stop to downtown Phoenix. That's where I'm at tonight. That's where I've been, today doing some stuff because I'm working on my preview video today because I'll be on the plane on Tuesday. That's normally when I do it, so I'm going to get that done. And then the preview video will probably be out on Tuesday instead. I'll get everything taken care of before I go. So I'll be looking for that if you guys watch that. So where did the surplus issues from Diamond LCS wind up? In the garbage. buried next to the ET cartridges, right? The last Ronin 2 realized, I haven't seen that one either. That's IDW. That's a whole nother ball of wax with them and the licensing for Turtles and stuff like that. I mean, that was a problem before the Diamond thing happened, so it'll be interesting. But yeah, I'm on Tuesday. I fly from Phoenix Airport all the way to Orlando. I get into Orlando Tuesday afternoon, and so MegaCon is Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. And I will be there at MegaCon the whole time. I'm actually there for a week. I get down there on a Tuesday and I leave the next Tuesday. And the reason I'm there for a week is because I really don't care about the con too much. I like to go there. I'll probably visit the con maybe once or twice. But there's a lot of really great people down there that I like to hang out with. And like my buddy John Spilios, Steve Whiting, Hialeah. Just a handful of really great people that I really enjoy seeing, and we get together once a year, and that's why I go. I could care less if the con was going on or not. I'll go in there and kind of say hi to some friends. I saw that Donnie Cates was there, and I haven't seen Donnie since San Diego Comic-Con, the one before last year. So I would like to see Donnie again and stuff. Rumor is that McFarlane is making Marvel figures for Diamond. Oh, okay. McFarlane's supposed to be at MegaCon, if I'm not mistaken. Robbie was like, "Oh yeah, we need to meet McFarlane." Okay. Yeah, so I'll probably be there a few days. I know there's going to be a few people there that watch the channel that wanted to hang out. So I'm going to try to be very active on like Instagram as far as where I'm at, and if you want to meet up and stuff like that, that'd be kind of fun. I have my pass from last year, and I think I'm just going to use it because it says guest on it. Because last year I was a host for MegaCon. I actually did like 5 or 6. I think I did 5 or 6 panels hosting gig for MegaCon last year, and I don't want to do that anymore, and so I'm not. So I didn't get in contact with the guy, the showrunner for MegaCon, to kind of put my services out there and stuff. So I just don't have any interest in doing any more hosting gigs unless it's unless somebody like a friend of mine that's like, hey, like Dan Jurgens said, hey, I heard Bueller's going to be there. Can Bueller do my panel? And then sure, Dan, I'll do it for you. Or if it's something like, oh, Todd McFarlane is doing a panel, can you do? Maybe I should have contacted him. Okay. But anyway, I have my pass from last year. It says guest on it. It's got my name on it. And it does say 2024, but I think I just put like a little pin around it. Nobody will even know because it's a special pass. And I'll just use that. And I'm pretty sure that'll get me in wherever I need to get in. And I know that Comics on Coffee are down there, so they can probably get me a pass as well. They're a sponsor for MegaCon now. So they probably have a handful of passes. But I know some people there. But anyway, if anyone has an extra pass that's going to MegaCon, hit me up. I'd appreciate it and stuff. And because I know that I need to get a pass for Steve. Doesn't Steve have a badge for you? No, I told Steve I would get him a badge. Steve Whiting? Yeah, because he got a hotel room. And he's like, oh, I got the hotel room and stuff. Normally, he'll get the hotel room, and I'll get him a badge or something like that stuff. But there's so many people down there. I don't really worry about a hotel room. So I'm like, I could stay with this guy. I could stay with Donnie. I can stay with, I think one of our buddies has an Airbnb. So there's plenty of places to stay. So I don't really worry too much about that. But I do need to get a pass. And I'll use the one I have, but I'd like to get in there once I can give it to Steve. What's the progress on visiting every comic shop in the U.S. and Canada? Is that still a goal? You know what? I'll be honest. I think I've visited probably at least more than half. And, I think there's 1,500, give or take, a couple hundred, either way. And I know that I've visited at least half of those, which is a pretty big number. If you were to say, hey, how many comic shops you've been to? I've been to 700, 800 shops. That's a lot of shops and stuff. And, just being in Tucson, I went to two shops just the other day. And so Tucson, there's some other shops there, but I just went to those two and stuff. And, but, I don't know, like, I can sit here now and cross off like states. It's like, I don't need to go to Oregon anymore. Obviously, I don't need to go to Washington anymore. I don't need to go to Colorado anymore. I don't need to go to, Arizona really anymore because I've gone to every comic shop in that state. Believe it or not, the state that I haven't really been to a lot of shops, which is probably like 100 shops, is California. I've been to a few in San Diego and a few in where was Jeffrey at? Jeffrey took me to a few. So I've been to a handful in California, but I've never been to any shops in San Francisco, LA, Sacramento. So there's a lot of shops I need to go through California. I always put California off because it's just next to my home state. So it was more focused on all the other stops around the country, like in Texas. I went to all the shops in Houston, I went to all the shops in Austin and Dallas, San Antonio. I did not make it to Houston. So Houston's like the only big city, which probably has a lot of shops that I didn't hit. But I've been to all the shops in Florida. I've been to all the shops in, just a ton of different places. So I'd say I'd probably been to probably more than half the shops in the United States, and I'm a little tired of doing it. Every shop looks the same eventually. They all they blend in. It's I think I've been here before. They all have white long boxes full of comics, and stuff. So it's like very rarely do I find a shop that's like, okay, this is something special, So after visiting so many, it just kind of is what it is. Favorite shop, I'm a little biased. I do really enjoy Robbie's shop called The Deep in Huntsville, Alabama. I just think it's great. There's a couple shops in Denver, Hall of Justice Comics. I thought that was really cool. There's another shop, I can't remember the name of it in Denver, but it's got like some oddities and stuff, and I like that one. That was a nice one. I went to Torpedo Comics in Las Vegas. Didn't really do much for me. There's a really cool one called Age of Comics in Albuquerque. I like that one. So, Have I been to? Yes, I have been to Missouri. I went through there so this trip right here started the middle of December. So since the middle of December, I'll be back probably the 1st of March. Okay. The trip before that I was at when I got back, because I got back right before Halloween. So I was back in Oregon for 2 months. Okay. The one before Halloween was 4 months long. So I was on the road for 4 months before this one. And I went from Oregon all the way to Albuquerque, New Mexico. Then I went to Huntsville, Alabama, and then I went all the way up to New Jersey. And so that's a nice arc right there. And yes, I went through Missouri. I stayed in Missouri a couple times at some different places, and it was miserable because it was very humid. It was very hot. A lot of bugs. Big fucking bugs, man, I've never seen before. But yes, I went through Missouri. Art, yeah, I kind of hit on that a little bit ago. Anaheim, yeah, I need to go to Anaheim. Yeah, there's a ton of shops. I mean, there's probably 100 shops that I need to hit. Random Reels, hello, how are you? Jackknife, 100% makes sense. Good job hitting that many. Yeah, it was a big. I mean, the goal sure is to go to every comic shop. Okay, a lot of comic shops. Here's the thing with comic shops across America and what I've seen. Some of the shops that are qualified as shops are really a waste of time. And I'm not saying that because it's like a horrible shop, but it's not really a comic shop. You know, you go in there, and I can tell a comic shop from like, well, yeah, we sell comics. You know, there's a difference between a comic shop and like, yeah, we sell comics, but yet they have all this other shit. Okay. And majority of comic shops, and I take that number of 1,500 shops, half of those shops are like those. Half of those shops are like, we got a bunch of other shit, you know, and that takes up most of the store, and then we got some comics over here. So in reality, let's just say 1,000 comic shops or less that are actually comic shops or comic books are the focus, and then all the other stuff is kind of tied in. Okay, so there's probably only about 1,000 of those left. Maybe a little less, to be honest. A lot of the shops I go to, it's like, here's our comic book section. It's like this. Here's the whole store, which has the comic book section is 20% of the store, and it's like in the back and stuff. So I mean, I remember there was a couple of shops in Utah outside of like Logan, Utah. I was like, oh, cool. I'll go. There's 2 comic shops. They weren't fucking comic shops. They were just like, I walked in, I was like, what is this? You know, and there's like, I got more comics on my bus than they had. And I drove all the way out there to go to these shops, you know. It was just kind of a waste of time. So I've been to a few of those. And it's just like, man. And then I miss a lot of shops because a lot of comic shops are not open 7 days a week. You know, a lot of comic shops I'll run into, it's like, oh, we're open on 4 days a week and we're only open for a few hours. We're closed on Sunday and Monday. And I'll hit these shops and it's like, I'll get there on a Sunday. I'm like, oh, they don't open until noon on Tuesday. I'm like, I'm not sticking around, you know, for 2 days just to walk in this shop and walk out, you know. And I've run into that a few dozen times, you know, throughout the travel. So, yeah, sometimes you get a little disappointed. Yeah, that bomb shelter shot. Yeah, yeah, it's like 2 stories underground. Yep, that's what that is. How did you lose your chronic cough and lose weight? The cough went away when I lost the weight. So that all my ailments I had, as far as, you know, a list of things that was wrong with me as far as my physical, you know, well-being. When I lost the weight and got healthy, all that shit went away. You know, my pains in my feet, my back pain, the cough, and a handful of other things. All that went away when I lost the weight. As far as how I lost the weight, I've said this before, I got pissed off enough to want to do something about it. And then I decided to do something about it. And that was change my diet and exercise, or actually just walk and hike and enjoy nature. I hate lifting weights. I have weights. I hate lifting weights. People see my, you know, but I mean, okay. So like on my Instagram, there's some pictures of me with flexing or whatnot. That's not from lifting weights. Okay. That's just like me just doing everyday things. That's just how I'm built and stuff, and it's, yeah, I don't like lifting weights, so I don't. And I eat right. For the most part, I walk, I'm active, and that made the weight come on. Cliff on Comments, what's up, buddy? Appreciate you. New York City, I've been to New York. I've been there a couple times. I drove through New York, stayed at the Adirondacks, and then I was at New York Comic Con a couple years ago and visited a couple shops downtown. Combo, yeah, that was no, that was a Jeff. That was in Albuquerque, New Mexico. I don't know if they're still around. It was a combination comic book shop. They had a lot of comics, and it was a used auto part store. But yeah, and it looked like a jail, looked like a prison and stuff. But he had a lot of comics and a lot of stuff in the back. So. Did he really? The no, you're thinking about the other guy. I just saw Sleepy do a video about going to visit that store. Collector P, what's up, man? Or maybe it was like a month ago, but in Winnipeg it's probably about 99 other comics. Most of the rest are comic. Yeah. Spiderweb, what's up? What state have the biggest and best back issue inventory? At Denver. Surprise! That's the thing. Well, you got to think. Denver has Mile High Comics, world's largest comic book store. So there you go. So I mean, I remember when I went to visit Denver, and I was like, oh, okay, Mile High Comics is going to be the only shop that there is. No, there's a handful of really great shops, all in Denver, and every one of them are trying to outdo each other. And it's like tons and tons of books. Florida's kind of the same thing. Florida has a lot of shops there as well. I think there's a chain that's like has like a dozen stores, and they are huge. They have so many back. I can't remember the name. Coliseum of Comics. I think that's it. They got a ton of stuff as well, and I think they have a warehouse also. But Denver is the one that kind of stood out to me. Do I? No, I don't even. No, it's in storage. It's in the storage, man. What is the indie comic you think needs more recognition? Ice Cream Man. That's still my go-to indie comic right now. I mean, I try to. I haven't read them in a while, but that's kind of the one I like. What is a major player and factors in the random pain? Yes. Yep. Most definitely. I noticed a difference right away. I was like, oh shit, Not only have I lost weight, but that doesn't hurt anymore. I feel better. So I mean, it was just a nice thing. The books are expensive. Yeah, very. Yeah, they're. I mean, that's the joke, right? My comics. But yeah, they are, and I think I bought. They don't have like a 50-cent bin or a $1 bin. They have like a $3 bin, and which are 50-cent dollar books and stuff. And I think you could buy 5 of them, or what was it? They're $3 a piece. I think you get 4 for 10 or something like that. So I bought 4 of them. So that was it. What are the top tips for new van lifers? That's a good question. No, a lot of people ask me about that stuff. The first thing I would tell people that want to do van life is all the shit you think you need, you don't need. You don't need a lot of the stuff that you think you need. I found that out really quickly after the first 6 months I was on the road. It's like all this stuff. Oh man, I need all this stuff. The more stuff you can get rid of, the better you're gonna enjoy the experience. And that includes just the build out. You'll see these build outs for these buses, and they look like fucking studio apartments and stuff. And that's just for show. That's not how buses. That's not how vans actually look during the regular travels and stuff. I've seen plenty of videos. There's shit everywhere. It gets dirty. I mean, my whole bus is covered in dust. It looks like a outside. It's just dirty as hell. Inside, finally I got some dust out of here and stuff, but it gets messy all the time. Shit breaks all the time. It just, it's stuff falls all the time, But I tell people, like I said, I don't get asked that very often, but just if you want to do van life or bus life, just do it. Just get the basics and just go. Just think of the basics you would need to go camping, okay? And then get that, and that's pretty much what you need. You need water, you need a place to sleep, a place to sit, and that's about it. I mean, literally right now, like, I don't even have my storage unit anymore. I got rid of my storage unit in Portland, and so I have a couple totes in my dad's house in the barn, but everything I own is right here on the bus now, and I've gotten rid of so much stuff, and it's easy. It's the easier the better. With the less stuff you got to worry about, the better you are. Hey, take care, buddy. Call me tomorrow, man. Let me know what's going on. I appreciate that. I'd like to talk to you. Do you think they will ever announce a show for Department of Truth, or I don't know. I mean, it wasn't up to talk a long time ago. Everything was going to get optioned and stuff like that, and then you never know. I don't really. I'm pretty much checked out. I mean, I maybe that sounds kind of bad, but I pretty much checked out of a lot of stuff in the comics. Obviously, when something with Diamond hits and stuff, or stuff like that, obviously I'm going to pay attention and stuff. But, I don't watch a lot of shows. I don't pay attention to really what's going on in Hollywood as far as comic book related. I do my preview video, and that's really about it, to be honest. I didn't even know who was at MegaCon until somebody said, "Oh, who's going to be there?" And they asked me the other day, and I was like, "Oh, I guess Donnie. I guess Todd McFarlane's going to be there." I didn't even know. I didn't even check. So, I don't want people to think I don't like comics. It's like it's always going to have a big chunk of my mind and heart about comic books, but I mean, it's just not everything I think about anymore. Or even much at all, to be honest. And I was actually having this conversation the other day with this friend of mine, and she was asking me that, and I'm like, because here's the thing: people think I'm oh, you're a nerd, And it's like, you know what? I go, I'm probably the least nerdy of all the nerds. To be, no offense to the nerds, but what's up, John? Speaking of nerds, anyway, I don't know, maybe I'm not phrasing that right, but I have a wealth of knowledge. Okay. I have a wealth of knowledge in my mind about comics, from years ago to current stuff that's always going to be there and always going to be available to me if I need to share that knowledge. Okay. But that doesn't mean that it takes up a lot of my time and effort and stuff. It's just stuff that you guys are in the same ballpark. And it doesn't define like who I am as far as like, oh yeah, you're geek, you're into this stuff. I'm like, well, not really. I mean, I know about it. So if you want to ask me about it, sure, I can tell you. But is it who I am? Is it who, Comics with Bueller is? Yeah, it's Comics with Bueller, but it's not Travis. And if you guys don't know, that's my real name, Travis. It's the comic book portion of my life now is like 5%, as opposed to like probably before I was traveling, it was 50%, if that makes any sense. But all that information and knowledge and respect as well, that's something that goes a long way too. My respect for comics and writers and artists and collectors and all that stuff, that is still there. That doesn't go away. So, yes, there's definitely a lot more in life. And when you're on the road and you're going and experiencing life firsthand, as far as experiencing life, on the road and traveling and doing all these things, opens my mind up a lot differently than just being at home and surrounded by stuff, okay, on a constant basis. And that's pretty much what I was doing before I was traveling and stuff. I'm just at home surrounded by, comic books was majority of the thing. I mean, people that have been to my house, John, uh, uh, my whole living room was a set. My kitchen was a set, for me filming videos. It took up my whole house, for what I was doing, because of all the videos I was doing, and I was enjoying. And don't get me wrong, I enjoyed doing that. I was good at it. Okay, and maybe I go back there someday. I don't know. I don't think so. People have asked me that because I've talked about kind of retiring this year, and it's still a plan. It might not be the exact time frame when I'm looking at, but I don't see myself going past this year very too much, to be honest. But no, I mean, comics to me, what comic books mean to me is all the people that I've got to add to my life because of comics. So that's why I have respect for comics, is because of what it's given me and all these relationships I've made with the people in my life for the last 7 years. And it's been life-changing, probably more so to me than most. So, I gotta, tip my hat to comic books. The King of the Nerds, yeah. No, not really. I did see a bear a couple times. I've ran into some black bears, and then some snakes and stuff like that, and I can't stand snakes, but there was this one snake. I was in Texas, and I was like, I was walking on the shore of this lake, and he was stuck on a log with some fishing line kind of wrapped around his neck, and he couldn't move. And I don't like snakes, okay, but I also can't sit there and let a animal suffer. So I rigged up this pole with one of my tent poles, and I put a knife on the end of it, so it was like 10 feet long. And I go back over there, and I was able to kind of cut the fishing line so that the snake could get away and go and do whatever it did, But that's about it. I mean, coyotes and some not really animals. I mean, I run into animals. Don't get me wrong. Like the cow was rubbing its ass up on my bus in Colorado. And the bus was shaking back and forth. I was like, what the hell's going on? Is it an earthquake? I look out and there's a cow rubbing its ass on the back of my bus. And I was like, okay. But I mean, elk and cows and deer and all sorts of stuff like that, but nothing that's really going to kill me, I guess. Has the trip and van life turned you off? I mean, it's not. It's just I was already going there before I hit the road. It was just like because I sold my collection to initially start funding this. So I sold 95% of my collection. So I was okay with saying goodbye to it, and I told myself I don't want to replace it. I want to turn the page and kind of go. It's just the van and the traveling just kind of opened my eyes to like, oh, this is something else that I enjoy doing. Let's do this. Follow your passion, wherever that leads, whether it leads you to travel or maybe you find something, it's like, hey, I want to collect sneakers now and stuff, and that's what you're really enjoying. So it doesn't mean I'm turned off. It just means that it's just a section that's there that I can enjoy, but I can also enjoy other stuff that's, drawing my attention more. Any comments for review? What's up, man? Appreciate you. Eduardo, what's going on? Hello, dear friend. Hello from Mexico. How you doing? I wasn't too far away from Mexico earlier. Family's doing good. Well, I mean, my daughter and my grandson, they were in Oregon. They're there visiting family, so they had a really nice time. They're doing good. My father, I haven't gotten an update on him, so I'm pretty sure it's pretty much about the same as what it was before. He was in the hospital for an infection, but he's able to come home, and normally they update me with stuff that's if something else is going on. So it's kind of, I said this before, it's kind of like the new normal. And so that's been the new normal for a while now, for over a year. So it just kind of is what it is. There's some stuff with my stepfather that's came to light over the last couple of weeks that has me a little worried and stuff. And it's funny because my stepfather is exactly the same age as my father. And so it's kind of running my mom is probably going to be having some rough road. So there you go. Yeah, I do too. It was always fun. Yeah, me and Bob always had a great time doing the show together. You never know. You never know, man. They came back and made another Ghostbusters, right? So I mean, you never know. If you ever come out to Manitoba, I'll take you to world's largest snake. Yeah, no thanks. Keith, hello. From Canada, nice. Miss your videos. Comic books aren't the same. You bring joy to my heart. Oh, appreciate that. Check out my buddy's shop in Phoenix, Dreadnought. I've been there. I've been to Dreadnought Comics. And the other is Gotham City Comics. I'm pretty sure I've been there as well. Yeah, I've like I said, my last trip through Phoenix, which was when was that? That was last year about this time. I hit every shop in Phoenix, and there was a new shop I went to in Phoenix. Bird City Comics opened a brick and mortar store, and I went and I visited them this year or this trip and stuff, and saw my friends there. So that was kind of cool to see them. And but yeah, I've been to every shop in Phoenix, and it's pretty cool. I've been to Jesse James Comics, and I've been to his place a couple times. And but yeah, Phoenix is a good place. It's easy to get around Phoenix, so it's easy to kind of like just map it out, just kind of boom, 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 hit them all and stuff. I think isn't there a chain in Phoenix, like 3 or 4 shops are part of a chain? I'm not sure. Always look forward to your weekly videos. No one else does all the covers as quickly as you do. You help me get. Oh, awesome, man. Yeah, I still, I've been doing that video for like 7 years, and obviously I took a little bit of time off. I'm back at it now. I've been, and stuff, but with our friend passing away and just some other stuff in my end going on down, I just kind of, wasn't focused on getting doing those. But I've been back doing them for, I don't know, the last month or so, if not maybe a little bit longer, constantly on they come out on Wednesdays. I try to get them out on Wednesdays, and depending on how fast my internet is, where I'm at, sometimes it's in the afternoon, sometimes it's in the morning, but I definitely try to have them out before like 3:00 on a Wednesday, like West Coast time, so it'd be a little bit later East, obviously. But I will have this week's out on Tuesday, is more than likely, because I need to get that done before I leave, and for MegaCon and stuff. When I get back from MegaCon, so I'm going to be in MegaCon until the 11th, in Florida, Orlando, till the 11th. I come back to Phoenix because I'm flying from Phoenix to there. I come back to Phoenix. I'm going down towards Yuma. There's a place called Mitri Lake, and I really wanted to kind of hit some water. And the weather is like in the 80s right now. And I'm pretty sure it'll probably be the same when I get back. It's just going to get warmer. And I just kind of want to hit some water. And I'll probably be at that lake for a couple weeks before I start heading back to Oregon, and just enjoy paddle boarding and some sun, and work on my tan and stuff, and everything. So that's kind of the plan, unless something else comes up. I was going to go to Texas. There was this girl I was talking to, but I decided not to do that. So sorry, Rebecca, ain't going to happen. So I think I'm going to go down to Mitri Lake and kind of go hang out there for a couple weeks. There is a nice place in Alamo, Nevada, that I went to last year on the way back. I think I might head back that same direction when I head back to Oregon. And so if I do, and I go through Alamo, Nevada, I'll probably stay there for a few days as well. There's a lake up there that I really enjoyed last year and wouldn't mind going there again. But yeah, I do have some books. I'm going to do an auction. I was trying to do it before I was going to be leaving to Orlando, but it's going to have to wait until I get back and stuff, maybe from that Meetre Lake. I brought like 5 boxes of comics with me on this trip to sell, anticipating an issue with some of the funds and stuff, as far as like paying for, my trip and stuff, and my adventures, whatever you want to call it, and stuff like that. So I brought these boxes with me, and I brought like a bunch of mailers and stuff with me to kind of offset some of the stuff if things fell through with some of the other people. Without the videos, I would be lost. The comics I have, you're all, thank you so much. I appreciate that. Like I said, I've been doing that video for 7 years, and almost from the very beginning. I think I started doing it within like the first 3 months when I started doing the channel. It just kind of grew from there. And I just, it's a service. It's something that provides information where people use it. And I if you've watched them enough, a lot of times I have fun making stupid jokes when I'm reading some of the titles, because some of the titles are just ridiculous, and so I have a little bit of, I try to have a little bit of fun, and I try to, as my travels, and that's something I incorporated recently, maybe this over the last year, wherever I'm at, it's in the background. It's like, unless there's something going on outside, I can't do it. But like, if I'm at like a really cool lake or whatever, I'm on the paddleboard doing the intro, in the middle of the lake, or I'm up on the side of a cliff, hiking in the mountain. And I'm like, okay, this is a really great place to do the intro and outro for the preview video, so people can kind of get a sense of where I'm at. There's one I did in Palm Canyon in not too far away from here. Well, a couple hours away from here. Just a beautiful place, and I love it. I go there every chance I get, and I'm like, this is where I want to do that intro and outro. It's a little windy, and there's nothing really I can do about that. It kind of is what it is. But it's always fun to kind of show people where I'm at, and I sometimes look at waterfalls, and I want, oh cool, I'll do it by this really cool waterfall I found. It's just too loud, because the water's coming down in the background. I was like, oh man, that sucks. Jeff, take care, my friend. Appreciate you. Yeah, man, that was, I wanted to do Canada. That was something I wanted to do last year. But some stuff came up, and then my daughter was like, oh, I'm having your first grandchild, and happy birthday to my daughter, Paige, by the way. Her birthday was a couple days ago. She just turned 29. It's her last year of the 20s. And I know she's probably like, but she has a wonderful son, Leo Emiliano, my first grandchild. But yeah, so that was, she had told me last year, the year before, or whatever it was. He's 7 months old, 6 months old right now. So like, I was like, well, I don't want to be leaving and be in Canada when, I'm going to have my first grandchild. So I just kind of said, well, we're going to put that on hold. And so maybe this year, maybe sometime in April, I can make a trip through Canada. Because the original goal was to go up through Washington State and drive across Canada and come out in New York State, Niagara Falls or something like that. And but I don't know. I'll figure something out. You don't know what's going. Maybe you won't be able to cross the border. Who knows? Well, Boar, what's up? Definitely wait till the summer and stuff. But there's some really cool people that are in Canada that I'd like to meet and stuff, and so it'd be really cool to. I even have a gift card for Tim Hortons. Hoping to return not anytime soon. That's it's something to where Bob was kind of. I don't think Bob has a lot of interest in doing it again. Maybe he would if I was there, on a regular basis. But even at the time when I was there, he was kind of fading as far as other stuff was coming into play and stuff. As far as stuff on his plate. So I always try to make it easy for him to kind of just show up and do it and kind of have a good time. But life happens. A lot of things go down, and nothing between me and Bob. Me and Bob are good. I don't want anyone to think that me and Bob had any type of falling out. That's not the case at all. We're still very, very close friends and stuff like that. It's just life in general. He's got a whole other thing. I'm not it. But I don't know. Maybe eventually, if I ever settle down again, I don't know if that will be in Oregon. To be honest, I'm not. I don't think I will. If I do settle down there, I don't think it'll be in Oregon. I've traveled enough of the country to know that I don't want to sit in 8 months of drizzle and cloudiness, which is like Oregon. It's like the 4 months out of the year, it's great. Probably the best place to be, from like June, July, August, September, all pretty good. The rest of the time, I can do with that. So, come down from Canada into Thousand Islands, a couple castles. That's cool. Contributor, besides comic shops, what destinations do you seek out on your travels? Water. I like, obviously I'm in the desert right now, so it's a little bit different. And the reason why I'm in the desert is because the weather's nice. It's sunny, it's warm. I try to follow the weather. I don't want to be in Minnesota this time of year, and I don't want to be here during the summertime. But if I can get out, the last trip I did before this one, the 4-month trip across the United States, which I've driven across the United States about 7 times now, 7 or 8 times over the last. I've driven from Oregon to Florida, from Oregon to New York, Oregon to New Jersey, and back, and then many, many places in between, and all that stuff. So this bus has driven across the country multiple times, and for the most part, it's been not bad. But I like water. I was just talking. That's why I'm kind of going to Metre Lake when I get back. I like different places. I mean, I found I'm not very good at remembering the places I've been to. That's why I take a lot of pictures and post them on Instagram. If you want to know where I'm at, follow me on Instagram. It's the same thing. It's Collins Bueller. But I post a lot of pictures on Instagram all the time, and I do that for 2 reasons. For one, for people to kind of follow along, and for me, so I can remember where I've been and stuff like that. And you can see some really cool places. But I really like nature. I like quiet. I like to be by myself for the most part. I do like every now and then, like, it'd be nice if someone else is here, but I don't mind being by myself. I can be by myself. I can be just fine. So let's see. What percentage of your nights are spent in urban locations versus rural? It just depends on what part of the country I'm at, to be honest. If I'm like in the I don't really want to go too much past like California, or I'm sorry, Texas. So I want to be west of Texas. But like most of the time, I'm if I'm traveling, if I'm moving, then it's like, okay, I'll find a place to camp. Like I'm in a rest stop today, and I got a place to go tomorrow. I got to be in Planet Fitness tomorrow night and stuff like that. But when I'm not traveling, when I find the spot, I'll probably be there for a week or two. It's pretty rural areas and stuff. So, do you fish? I know how to fish. I'm actually an award-winning fisherman. I've been published in magazines, but I do not like to fish. And I'm not kidding when I say that. It was something very early on in my life. I know how to fish very well. I could probably fish for just about anything, but I do not like to fish. And but if you need me to tie a hook on or go fly fishing or, catch a crappie or a carp, I can do it. So, yeah, thanks, Dad. But anyway, I just kind of wanted to jump on here and kind of just get caught up. There's some people outside walking around. Like I said, I'm at a rest stop and stuff, and it's pretty comfortable. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks everyone for watching. I sleep fine. If he like my house I used to live in, it was right by railroad tracks. It was literally outside my back door, maybe 20 feet away from 20 or 30 feet away from my back door. And it was an Amtrak line. So there was stuff going through that every day. So as far as noise goes, it doesn't bother me one bit. I can sleep no problem. So, okay. Well, I'm going to go. Thank you. Appreciate everyone watching. Thank you so much. I'll try to stay more up to date with you guys, and I probably won't do it. I'm not bringing my laptop or anything with me when I go to Orlando, or any cameras or nothing like that. I don't really film any of that stuff anymore. But when I get back from Orlando, I'll probably, like I said, I need to do the auction. I got some books I want to sell, and I'm going to actually sell some of the books that have been autographed to me. So if you guys, I don't really have a purpose for them, but someone will say Tubular, autographed by, the writer or artist and stuff like that. If anyone's interested in those, if they don't mind it being, it's one of my personal books. I can tell you where I got it. I can tell you what it's from. If anyone has any interest in those, I'm going to put those up for sale, and you can have a part of my collection that was, signed by Chris Claremont the first time I did a panel for him, and he signed it for me and everything. So anyway, there's a bunch of those. So, all right, everyone, thank you so much for watching. John, give me a call tomorrow. I want to check up on you, see how you're doing. And yeah, all right, take care, everyone. Live your best life. That's what I say.